So this week on toDIYfor, we are going to complete the room makeover. We started this last week, so if you have not already seen that video, rewind, go check out that because you're really going to appreciate this transformation when you see where we started. We started in a really sad state, but now, after 2 weeks of work, oh my gosh, I am in love with the transformation of this room. Even though it was a small space, I think it feels airy and light and cozy, and I just can't wait to have guests over eventually to stay here in our spare bedroom. I actually love this room more than my own bedroom in my apartment right now. Boyfriend agrees with me, so I don't know, we're gonna have to do something about that and kind of amp up our own room because it looks kind of sad and tired in comparison to this one. So if you are new to my channel, my name's Janelle, and I really hope that you subscribe, check out my videos week after week. Every single Wednesday I do a new DIY video, so don't forget to subscribe and let's hop into the video. So here's just a little overview of what I did last week, tearing down some shelves, painting, and I also built this headboard with these side tables. So let's finish this room now. And of course, if you want to check out that full video, it's already up on my channel. So I found this mirror at the thrift store for $13. I thought it was such a great steal. It has this beautiful arch on it, and I'm so excited to do a little kind of accent wall around it. So I had to do a lot of measuring for this, but basically finding the middle of this small wall here, and then I needed to measure up how high I wanted to have my mirror, and then of course measure it out on the wall. So what I did here is I marked my center point, and I have a piece of string tied onto a pencil or whatever, and you just make this slow motion here and you get a perfect half circle. You could do a full circle as well, of course. So this second line that I'm drawing here is actually going to be the part that's actually shown. So the first line was like the mirror size. This is now how big the paint around it will be showing. So all you really need is a little sampler for this. So it's about $5, and this is a very bold color, but I'm very excited about it. Yeah, so when I was painting this, I totally freehanded it. You could tape it, but I honestly think doing a curve like this, it's a lot easier to freehand it and just follow your pencil line. And I found using a sponge brush worked really well to get the cleanest line possible. So this is what the mirror looks like. It did have a bit of tarnish marks on it, so I opted to paint it, and I wish I hadn't. Like, I wish so badly that I had not. The paint that I originally chose was supposed to be a gold brass. It almost turned kind of silver, which I absolutely hated. You can kind of see here. I ended up getting another gold paint, and I painted it, and it still looks nice, but I really do like the original from it. Now, this was a mirror that actually, I believe, hung on a stand, so I actually just had to remove that part of it, which was on the back. Super easy to do. I added some picture hanging wire, and I just mounted it on the wall, and I have a perfect kind of 4-inch mark around of all of the paint, and I absolutely love how this turned out. Now I have a ton of different baskets that I again also thrifted, and honestly I would say I've probably been collecting these for almost a year. Just whenever I'm at the thrift store, if I found something I liked, I picked it up. And some of these are repeats because they came in groups, but some of them are also very unique, and they're all different sizes, and I think that's key when putting together a basket wall. But honestly, these were all pretty cheap. I didn't spend more than, I think, $2 per basket. Say there's 10 baskets up here. This is costing me $20 to put together. So it's pretty cheap and an inexpensive way to cover a large space. It does take a little bit of fiddling, as you can see I'm doing here. Would be a lot more helpful if I had somebody kind of to help me, but you have to step back and take a look at it. And I just used push pins, so it's not really making that much damage on the wall. Easy to fill and paint over when I'm all done, and also just easy to adjust as you're going through it. So over here in the right hand side, you can also see that I have a little planter hung there. That was just something really simple that I put together with some macrame cord. I've got a lot of hanging planter tutorials on my channel. I will leave those linked for you. Now this is my last DIY for the room, and it's a lampshade. So I have 4 rings here. They're metal rings that are about 10 inches in diameter, I believe. And then I've got a bunch of zip ties, and then of course my light piece. So I'm just tying 2 zip ties around each one of those rings
loosely at this point. And then I'm going to take another zip tie and I'm going to loop it through all of those other zip ties in a circle, as you can see I'm doing here. And then I have my light piece in the center and I am going to tie that tight around the light piece. So I did this slowly and gradually, making everything tighter until I got kind of something that looks like this. And the idea, it was hopefully that it would lay flat. It doesn't really. So I went back and I took some zip ties and I zip tied the points where the metal rings overlapped on one another. And then I also put a little bit of hot glue in there. So I am actually using pantyhose for this. So yeah, these are kind of like the socket ones. They're short, but as you can see, I've just basically stretched it over top of this wire. The hoop, you cannot make it any bigger than this. This was pretty hard for me to do, but the edge there, I just snipped off any excess and I tried to make this as transparent as possible. I didn't want it to be really thick material, and that's why I opted to use pantyhose. So I don't really love the color of this. If you did it with black in a room that had like black accents, I think that would look really great, but I'm opting to just spray paint this with some kind of cream color spray paint, and I did this on both the front and the back. And then I basically just hung it up. So to finish off this room, I don't have a lot of knickknacks in here. It's pretty small, but I did, of course, need to add some plants to it. And I am so thrilled with how this space turns out. I think it's so cozy, it's warm, it's inviting, which is perfect for our spare bedroom. And honestly, so much of this was thrifted, like so much of it. So it wasn't very expensive for me, and I can't wait to show it off. But I also love it so much that I now need to redo my own bedroom. Let me know what you thought of this, and leave your thoughts down in the comments. And please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I'll be back with another DIY next Wednesday.